I was just trying to work out how long this channel's been going and how many times I've deleted all the videos because I was frightened they offended somebody. But it seems to, well, me comments go back 2 weeks, but I can't remember how long it is since I started this channel. Because I've added a few other ones and deleted the whole lot because I thought somebody's not going to like that. But then it appears to me it doesn't matter what you say or what you do, somebody will take offence. I saw somebody say it was a kind of 50-50 split. If you say something, 50% of people like it, 50% of people don't. Sounds about right, actually, to me, that. But then I don't know. I tend to get something like 40, somewhere between 40 or maybe a bit less comments that are positive, maybe 2 or 3 that are negative. But I don't know. That's my experience all the time with YouTube. You tend to get a lot less negative comments than positive ones, and a lot more likes than dislikes. But then if people get used to your channel and they like it, they'll tune in, they'll watch it, and if they don't like it, they won't, unless they like being offended. But yeah, what was I saying? I don't know. I can't remember when I started it, but I kind of deleted 2 channels completely, and some of them I've accidentally got locked out of. I don't know how that happened, but oh, that was it. I got a new phone. Well, different SIM cards, and the old ones won't work, so I can't get into it. And I don't know. Sometimes I'm sure I put email addresses in recovery emails, but they don't work. Or they'll work, but they won't work without the phone. Something like that, but that doesn't matter. Because they probably were offensive, and this one probably is as well. But if I have offended anybody, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. It's all done. I just do it for a laugh. I don't do it to make money, because if you're doing something for money, you're in it for the wrong reason, because it won't make you happy in my experience. It just causes arguments and makes people jealous. And well, some people it will and some people it won't. But I never did want money. Well, when I was younger, I wanted to earn money, but well, because Dad did. I mean, he literally did start with nothing, and he came from the poor end of town. He built a bungalow in the posh end of town. Well, it became the posh end of town, but and I mean, it cost what was the whole lot, the land and the building materials and everything in 19. Well, I think he built it between 66 and 68, and it cost him 2,300 for the whole lot. He built it himself, but it would have cost about £300 to pay someone to build it, which was a lot of money in 1968. But you know, I mean, he put 4 new windows in the 90s. And there were 2,400 for 4 new windows, which was more than the bungalow cost. He was a pensioner then, and he couldn't really afford it. And well, that's it. You know, it's to me, you're just making a rod for your own back with things like that. I mean, I'm in rented accommodation now, but the thing is, the landlord's responsible. As far as I know, the landlord is responsible for everything apart from the door and window handles. I mean, I do fix things myself just to help out because, well, it's quicker actually. And well, if I get a lot of things mended, it's going to put everybody else's rent up, isn't it? Because that's how they get the money back. They just put the rent up. But the thing is, if I ring the landlord up and ask to get something fixed, well, it's usually 2 or 3 days before they come out, and they usually have to come 10 miles to get here. So it's just costs more, doesn't it? And the thing is, like with things like shower switches or whatever, you can get them on the internet. They arrive the next day. And the new ones, because I put one in recently. I probably shouldn't, but I mean, there were 6 wires on that one, and I got them the wrong way around without switching it on. I checked it and I realised they were wrong. But well, I mean, I'm sure the one they put in the year before that was one that assembled out of good bits from broken ones, and it only lasted a year. Well, that one was only £13, and it was a new one. So I've saved them time and money. And but the thing is, it failed shortly afterwards. Well, it didn't fail. The shower would just suddenly stopped heating. So I thought, well, possibly the sensor's gone on the shower, but I googled it and I couldn't find anything really. And in the end, I switched all the electrics off. I took the switch off its mountings, off the box that it was mounted on, and pulled it down and put it back, and it worked. I don't know why it did that. It's like there must be either a loose connection or a break in the cable somewhere, but it's never done it since. It was the same with my car. I was going to take it for the MOT, and I checked it all over to make sure everything worked, and the hazard lights wouldn't work. It's quite a difficult job to get the switch out of the dashboard. I never managed to get it out of the dashboard. I got the dashboard apart. I was going to take the switch out of the dashboard. I pulled the cable off the back of the switch. I thought, well, I'll try it because it might be like the shower. I put it back on. It worked. I thought, well, I'll leave them flashing. I put it all back together, and they've worked ever since, and that was months ago. I don't know what it is. I mean, they've never stopped working, and it passed the MOT because they worked. But then the thing with those cars is that one's an old one, and I don't know. Apparently, hazard lights are mandatory in this country now, but I don't know whether they actually were when that was made, and I couldn't find any information on the subject. I looked it up on the government website, and there was nothing on there. But well, it passed the MOT, so that's the thing they say. I mean, they can pass the MOT one day, and the next day they can be put in a poor state and won't pass the MOT. So it's a bit silly, but they have to do it to check them at least once a year, because I think they did. I don't think they did initially years ago, but there were a lot of really badly maintained cars and that in those days.